Hello, everyone. Back to the Health Forum with Dr. Young Soo Kim. How are you, Dr. Kim?
Doing fine, doing fine. You look
Well, you
fine
look,
today.
you look fantastic. I've always loved that tree. What kind of tree is that in back of you?
Oh, this is oh,
I want to hear the
my
story.
mother uh, used to be one of the most famous collector in Korea. And then this is one of the national treasure. So
Oh,
uh, my mother may be rolling in the grave if she knows I'm using this thing for a recording. This
what?
I like this paperwork because it observes the sound. It reduces echoes.
Yep, yep. Well, I think she'd be proud of you because it kind of wraps around you. I mean, so it's like she's hugging you and she's saying, "Okay,
Yeah,
share the word."
yeah, yeah.
So.
I wish this thing brings her blessings on me, which I need.
Everybody needs blessings, Dr. Kim, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So that goes without
yeah,
saying. So today
yeah,
we're here to talk about autoimmune disease.
yeah. So autoimmune diseases.
What exactly is
Yeah.
autoimmune disease?
Before we go into the definition, how many autoimmune diseases can you name? Just let's try.
How many autoimmune diseases can I name?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Can I say one thing along those lines? I don't think there's almost anything you can't name that has some sort of rheumatoid
Yeah.
arthritis,
Yeah.
autoimmune autoimmune deficiency. All diseases would have some sort of autoimmune deficiency. No.
Oh, you just hit a bullseye here because there are so many misunderstandings, and what you just mentioned is at the center of the issue. Right now, autoimmune diseases, the medical jargon, which refers to the diseases in which our own immune system attacks our own body. So depending on how and where it attacks, there are many names. If it attacks this joint, then it's called rheumatoid arthritis.
Arthritis. Yes.
Yeah. It used to be only 3 or 4 autoimmune diseases. Now it's 150. And this COVID is dangerous, is fatal because of an acute and massive autoimmune disease, autoimmune responses, which is called cytokine storm. You must have heard the word.
Cytokine storm.
A cytokine storm, which is attacks our immune system, attacks in a massive scale our liver, our kidney, and our myocardium, which is the muscle in the heart. This is why COVID is dangerous. And then what I'm saying is, for some reasons, and we are going to discuss later, we expect that the autoimmune diseases will replace most of infectious disease, right now, okay, as we just switched from the 20th century to the 21st century, right now, the most serious, the most prevalent disease is this metabolic disorder, degenerative metabolic disorders, like diabetes, all these metabolic disorders. But I think in the 21st,
In a metabolic disorder,
yeah.
what exactly is happening to the body?
Oh, metabolic
Is it feeding on itself?
Metabolic disorder is our metabolism, which is we eat something and then we digest and we just use the calories we burn. That metabolism,
Yep.
things going in and things going out, and then we use the energies and nutritions in the process. That metabolism, something went wrong with that metabolism, like light blood glucose, which goes to the name diabetes. Diabetes
So
is
it's more or less how we're processing our foods.
exactly that's a very, very important thing. But that's the most important disease right now as we are moving from 20th century to 21st century. But what I
Yep.
believe is 21st century is going to be the century of autoimmune diseases. So this thing, it used to be only 3, right now it's 150. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the another thing is I have a very, I have a very low level of trust toward the medical doctors so far as these autoimmune diseases are concerned. Because whenever you go to see a doctor, and whenever a doctor diagnoses you as having one or two autoimmune diseases, the doctors feel so intellectually superior. So the among doctors, I'm not saying all doctors are like this, but
Yeah.
I lament this kind of tragic trend. So the
Well, I think it's more of a matter of not knowing or not researching.
yeah, but for us, if I cannot find a solution to a problem, I feel sorry. I feel indebted. But so far as these autoimmune diseases are concerned, doctors are even getting more prouder when they don't know the solutions.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there is a big English college was called eponymous. Eponymous means a person's name is used to call other things. So if a disease is named after a doctor,
It's eponymous.
it is called eponymous. That's the highest glory of medical doctors. Oh, a disease is named after my name. Also, they look down upon such people like me who offers very commonsensical, daily life, easy, safe, cheap solutions to those problems. They say, ah. So whenever I talk about these autoimmune diseases, I feel so angry, and then I don't trust them because if you go to see a doctor and then they just diagnose you as having one or two autoimmune diseases, they say the same thing again and again and again, which are all wrong. One, they say, "Oh, this is a rare disease. 1 out of some million, or 2 out of some million, or something like that." They say it's a rare disease, which is not true. This is not a rare disease. And secondly, they say, we don't know the cause. They all say the same thing. We don't know the cause. Okay, but I'm not surprised when they say we don't know the cause, because this is not the only area they don't know the cause about. So when they say they don't know the cause, I say, okay, here it comes again. And then they also say, oh, there's no solution, there's no treatment, there's no cure. Of course, but they look at this issue from the wrong angle. I don't expect them to offer any solutions, but they say, without exception, they say always the same thing. Oh, here's the temporary solution. Please use this, and then this will last. Your disease will last for the rest of your life. That's what they say. And then what they give at the time is steroid. They just give steroid, okay, and then when this flares up, when this thing becomes really serious, please use this steroid to lessen the symptoms, and then but this is your life for the rest of your life. No, so this is all wrong. So I say, no, this is not rare. There are solutions. And the what I'm going to say is sounds crazy, but please put up with me for a while. I'm Please accuse me for having a big mouth, and I'm quite sure that we may get a Nobel Prize for these solutions. The researchers of related to our companies were nominated for Nobel Prize. I didn't count, but more than 10 times.
Well, let's talk about
Yeah. Also,
the foundation. When you got this company,
yeah.
you got in writing what it was for from a university.
Yeah. So we got this technology from the University of Calgary. The researcher there is the person who found the virus triggers this autoimmune process. That's the guy.
And that is
Yeah. The name of the virus is Coxsackie virus, and then these days, because of this COVID, the COVID virus and this Coxsackie virus very similar. So that's why our product works for COVID diseases, COVID pandemics too. But we are not allowed to say that. So these days, this SNS censorship is so strong. Whenever you mention the word COVID, they just close it down. So I don't dare to mention this.
yeah.
Anyway, also I was involved with Nobel Peace Prize twice. One is in Korea. So I was indirectly involved with our president getting a Nobel Prize. And then also, do you remember one of your friend? I was organizing Nobel Prize nomination.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, for that person.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I because many of my friends won Nobel Prize, so I know how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I actually won the Nobel Prize, you should send me some congratulation card.
I'm gonna get you a bottle of sake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up here. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna have drinks, and we're gonna reminisce about the martial arts.
Yeah. In any way, why I think I'm going to win a Nobel Prize with this? Here's my logic. Very simple. My logic is so simple. So I say when people say, "Oh, we don't know the cause, so there is no cure," I say we don't have to know the cause. Why? We want to live a normal life. We want if we live a normal life, if we look like a normal person, if we smell like a normal person, if we taste like a normal person, we are normal. That's what I'm saying.
It's all quality of life.
Yeah. So why do you have to really find the ultimate cause of a disease while there's a simple solution to live a normal life with no need for drug, with no need for a suffering? You can live a normal life with this. And why do you frustrate people by saying there's no cure? We don't know the cause. Here's what I'm saying to them. I asked them, according to your logic, if you want to be consistent, I'm asking you, do you know the ultimate meaning of life? I don't know. Then you commit suicide. We don't some questions.
What's the ultimate meaning of life to you, Doctor?
I don't know.
Come on. What's the ultimate?
I don't know. So, but I just
you don't know.
I do my best, I make my fullest efforts day by day. I don't have to know the ultimate meaning of the life.
It's one day at a time, Dr.
Yeah. So
do the best you can.
Yeah. Here's the thing about these autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune disease is something like this. Let me avoid using medical jargon, okay? Let me just use our daily life analogy. When a burglar burglar at night breaks in your house, you call police 911. Oh, in the States, it's different. In the States, when a burglar
breaks into my house.
yes.
I ain't even talking about that, Bert. I feel sorry for the burglar.
Yeah,
You know?
but in other countries, they call police, right? But autoimmune disease is something like this. The police came, and then the burglar ran away, or the situation is over, then police should go back, right? Police should go back to the station, right? But autoimmune disease is something like police stays and keeps on shooting. And you say, oh, please, the burglar already left and the burglar already died. And police say, no, 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 no. We should keep on shooting. Boom, 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 boom. And they even shoot you. They say, hey, what are you doing? And they say, oh, we are the law officer, enforcer of the law. And you called us. And then, I have the right. And are you resisting the due process of the law? I'm arresting you. That's what this autoimmune process is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, but what bullets they use, all autoimmune process, all autoimmune process needs glucose, blood glucose. And so when there is a battle, the body mobilizes blood glucose to create inflammation. Inflammation creates heat and immune processes. Then this autoimmune processes attack. So basically what I say is, in that local places, there's a certain amount of diabetes is happening there. So basically, if you control the blood glucose level there naturally and safely, if you treat the diabetes right there, the small scale diabetes right there, basically it's equivalent to, no matter what the police does, you removed their bullets, you remove their lunch, you remove their water, and then police is disarmed, and then they just go home. That's my approach. I don't have to know why burglar came into my house.
Yeah.
So if some situation like that, we call 911, and then police came, and then the police kicks them out, and then but police doesn't go home. Police keeps on shooting, and even arrest us is shooting at us. We use our product to calm down the insulin resistance there. Again, insulin resistance there. And then the blood glucose level there, where the inflammation is happening, if it goes down, then police is equivalent to police ran out of the bullets, police ran out of lunch, police ran out of the water, and they say, oh, we just go back to the station. And it's perfect, it's safe, there's no side effect. But steroid is something like that. Okay, police has such a
okay.
Yeah. Steroid is something like, okay, police has such a problem. Okay, in the city, we remove all polices. We eliminate all the police. We eliminate all law enforcement officers. That's what steroid does. Then burglars come, and then crime come, and then next round you have to call more police. So steroid, if you eliminate all the polices, what happens? What happens to the security and peace of the city? That's what steroid does. What I'm saying is, if that kind of police brutality is happening, we reduce their bullets, we reduce their ammunition, we just remove their lunches, so it just comes down. That's what we do. So the using steroid is such a savage, wild, all out ways to address these symptomatic issues while we are mildly, peacefully, safely come down. Just that part. So
Yeah.
actually, this study is being done. This what I'm saying, I have been saying this thing for the last 25 years. Again, I used to be regarded as a crazy person, but these days, many famous scientists are working on this issue. They
Yeah.
are proving what I'm saying is true. I don't exactly know every step of this process, but I know this thing works because the many people with autoimmune diseases using our diabetes product and get well and they live a normal life. I say, we here's one thing: we do not have the approval for the usage of our product for autoimmune disease, but this thing works. For especially, I'm not. Let me be really careful. I'm not saying our product works for all autoimmune diseases, but I know that our product works greatly if your autoimmune disease symptom is lessened by the usage of steroid, then our product works. So whenever people inquire us of any help of any treatment for autoimmune diseases, we ask them, oh, do you use steroid? And then does it lessen your symptom temporarily? If they say yes, then use our product. Then almost all the cases that belong to what I just the categories what I just described, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let me I don't think we can finish this thing just today, but just then let's have another session about this issue.
Yeah.
Let me mention another thing which is really important in relation to these autoimmune diseases. Gut health. Gut health. Gut health. I told you, when you have a poor gut health, the protective membrane is damaged, and things that are not supposed to go in your bloodstream goes into your bloodstream. Heavy metal, toxin stuff, all these things, they trigger autoimmune diseases. I say, I don't know the ultimate cause of autoimmune diseases. I know where is the gateway that the body gets all these autoimmune diseases. So you must have heard that.
So Dr. Kim, hold on a second. Let me just ask you a quick question along those lines.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is your body reacts to the heavy metals that are being carried through the bloodstream, which
Exactly.
then causes complications in the body.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And then the heavy metal that goes into your bloodstream like that goes directly to your brain. It causes Alzheimer's,
Makes sense.
Alzheimer's, autism, Parkinson's disease. So gut health, I have never encountered a disease where either directly or indirectly or not caused by a gut health. Gut health is the cause of almost every diseases. Gut health. So basically, so we I will introduce you at the end of the show. Introduce what's our gut health product. We already did a session of this video recording for gut health, right? Some time ago, right? So
Yes.
I really wish the viewers to watch that video. Anyhow, here's the thing. uh, what we normally believe are healthy foods become a triggers of autoimmune diseases when you have poor gut health. So you think, oh, this is healthy, but it triggers your autoimmune disease. For example, gluten. Gluten, our ancestors have been eating flours for the last hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
How come all of a sudden this gluten becomes toxic? Then our ancestors must have all died, right?
A few
Because
of them anyhow.
yeah, because of poor gut health. If you have a healthy gut, this gluten thing doesn't happen. Then this all grains, all healthy fiber grains become really healthy food for you. So, hey, Carl, you
You're
must,
talking about the calamari.
yeah, that's the
That's
product
that's a
that's the
wonderful
product I
product.
recommend for this gut health, right? But
Yes.
you must have heard food with a lot of fiber is good, right? No, the grain for metabolic for losing health, losing weight, for diet, for your other health. Please eat a lot of food with a lot of fibers inside. You must have heard that story, right?
Yes.
No. If you have poor gut health, all those healthy grains with fibers inside triggers autoimmune process. That's how people just don't know. Fibers, and then also it just goes into your bloodstream and it just triggers autoimmune process. So whenever I mention this autoimmune process, my first portion of conclusion is treat it as if there's diabetes happening there, but people know, oh, in order to treat diabetes, I have to eat more food with more fibers inside. That's the common sense. But if you have poor gut health, fiber contained in grains triggers autoimmune process. So I say, hey, even for autoimmune diseases, you have to take care of gut health first. For for going back to normal, using our product, using our Super Bentley works greatly for the reasons I just mentioned. For the with the analogy of removing the bullets, removing the waters from the police, but at the same time, the second part prevents and then helps the please making sure you have a healthy gut. Otherwise, autoimmune process triggers. Even all those healthy food triggers autoimmune processes.
What do you recommend to take?
A calimera I just mentioned. I told you.
Stay. Is that the calamari? When you and I had talked about it last time, you said you do it about 4 times a year.
I do 4 times a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's to cleanse your system out.
Yeah. And the what I also recommend is if
Now, how does the calamari, before we move on, how does it differ from a lot of the other stuff that we have out there on the shelves?
the all other so-called detox products are actually they are very dangerous, to tell the truth. I don't
Why
say
is that?
I don't want to say anything bad about other products. They do their best. I believe that they are trying to take care of people's need with a good heart, but they are habit forming. Habit forming meaning that you have to use more and more and more and more, and eventually it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
yeah, so permanent constipation, permanent constipation. So, with poor gut health, people do not have a regular bowel movement, so they take this chemical. It's basically a mild diarrhea causing stimulants. So if people begin to take this non-natural detox, it becomes a resistance, meaning that you have to take more and more and more.
How did,
Eventually,
how,
it just leads to your permanent constipation. And then we talked about it. That was a true cause of Elvis Presley's death, right? What was your
yeah.
question? Yeah, yeah. So basically, poor gut health, saturated fat, and one thing I'd like to mention is, and then I don't want to make this recording too long. One thing I'd like to mention is GMO, genetically modified organism, GMO.
GMOs.
Yeah, GMOs causes autoimmune diseases. No question about that. And then if you go
Or
to
explain what is GMOs for people that are
GMO,
not,
yeah, yeah. At first,
not clear on it.
if you go to supermarket, I think these days 95% of our food are GMOs. GMO is like this. People think, right? GMO is the scientists play with the DNAs, the genes of our crops, and then it produces more grains, more fruits, more leaves, so that the farmers make more money. That's what people think of GMO, right? If that's the case, why am I so against it? No, that's not how GMO works. When I explain to you how GMO works, you'll be so scared. GMO works like this. If you use chemical fertilizer, if you use chemical herbicide, if you use chemical insecticide, too much, the plant itself dies. You understand, right? Because they are toxic. There are so many heavy metals.
Either that or the plant absorbs it and
Yeah,
it gets passed on
yeah. And then
to the animals.
yeah, it not only passes on to animals and to us, it dies itself because it's too strong. It's too strong. These days in America, if you go to the field, the surface is almost chemicals. No earth, no earth here.
Yeah.
So GMO, genetically modified this object, the organism, GMO works to make the plant, to enable the plant to survive under such a heavy usage of chemical fertilizer, chemical herbicide, chemical insecticide. So that before they use only this much, but these days they use this much, and the plant still doesn't die. That's GMO. So basically GMO by definition means they used many times the quantity of herbicide, chemical insecticide, chemical fertilizers. And then this plant became so, what should I say, so harshly, they can survive in such a harsh environment. So plant itself not only contains the toxic substance from all these invasive chemical ingredients, but also when you use so much chemical stuff, plant itself develops its own toxic stuff, which we call secondary metabolites.
Well, it's much like Dr. Kim. Let me stop you there for a second. It's it's much like, you know, I heard a story one time,
Yeah.
and it was they stated that back in the 50s, 40s and 50s and 60s, they would be able to grow a head of lettuce.
Yeah.
And the nutritional value, the vitamins in that
Yeah.
lettuce, that
Yeah.
one head of lettuce in year 2000,
Yeah.
you have to eat 20 heads of lettuce
Exactly.
to get the vitamin
Yeah.
nutritional
Yeah.
value
Yeah.
in that one head of lettuce that you had 50
Exactly.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Because what they are trying to do is they want to grow the look of the plant rather than the nutritions inside the plant.
They're
And so that's why I say this GMO is one of the main causes of this autoimmune disease. And then doctors say we don't know the causes. We know the causes.
Yeah.
So
You know,
yeah. Let's wrap up here.
yeah,
But
yeah, yes. We
let's
could
continue.
that could be a rabbit hole for another day.
It sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's stop here.
Okay, very good, Dr. Kim. Thank you so much.
Here.
We'll tell, and we'll be continuing the series. So
Yeah.
once again,
Okay.
Carl Messina and Dr. Young Soo Kim. Have a great day.